Hey there! I am out sitting in nature today, and what that has meant for me lately, nature has been my saving grace for sure in this whole pandemic season, because when I'm outside, I can actually hear myself. If I'm around trees, if I'm around water, kind of blocks out the outer noise, and I can hear me, my inner voice. So that feels fantastic. But what ends up happening is I get flooded with like all this excitement and insight, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much to share, and anyway, it bubbles over. So anyway, jumping on, because there's something I really want to share with you today that has been on my mind, and it's something I shared with my daughter's friends last weekend. I did a retreat with them and really wanting to, I miss working with kids. I used to be a school counselor and I love doing programming with them, so I was excited with the opportunity to spend some time with my daughter's friends outside and teach them things I feel particularly passionate about. And the very first thing that I was teaching them or showing them was a really simple exercise that I like very much to use with my clients to show how brain chemistry, thought chemistry impacts us, how we can actually feel it. Like, forget all the neurons firing and looking at all the science behind it, which is really cool, but if you don't like science, that's not your thing. This is an easy exercise to show you just how impactful it is. In this practice, and you don't have to do it right now, you can come back to the video later and try this. What I'd like you to do is take a couple deep breaths and close your eyes and listen to the words I'm going to say. And when I say them, I want you to notice how you feel when I say them. I also want you to notice where you feel them in your body. So if you take your deep breath and you close your eyes, when I say the word should, how do you feel? Where do you feel that in your body? When I say the word love, how do you feel? Where do you feel that in your body? Does it feel different than should? Does it feel heavier? Does it feel lighter? When I say the word peace, how does that feel? Where do you feel that in your body? When I say need to, you need to, how does that feel? Where do you feel that in your body? When I say want to, how does that feel? Where do you feel that in your body? When I say fear, where do you feel that in your body? When I say faith, where do you feel that in your body? How does that feel? When you slow down and listen to the words and notice where they feel in your body and how they feel, if they feel light, if they feel heavy, how do you feel emotionally? What are the sensations that come with it? What you notice are the way that you digest, that ingest actually these words when people are saying them, they have an impact. That thought creates a chemistry in your mind that has a physiological response in your body. So when you're hearing these words over and over again, you can see, and saying these words in your own mind over and over again, you can see the physical impact that it has on you, as well as the way that it shifts your mood. So the repetitive shoulds, you should do this, you need to do this, feel very, very different than I want to do this, I'd like to do this. Should is actually a fear. You need to, you should do something. That's actually fear thinking. That's actually fear placed, because it's an actual judgment or an expectation. And it's, if you don't do it, if you should do this, if you don't, you'll be rejected. You'll be left behind. People won't like you. You won't like yourself. It will feed that fear of you that you're not good enough. That's what that word does. Same with you need to. Someone's telling you you need to do something, or you're saying it to yourself, or you're saying it to somebody else. That's all judgment. That's all fear. It speaks to our insecurities, which we all have. When you say want to, that's inviting an opportunity in. That's very different. So should is energy out, whereas want to is energy in. And it's such an important thing, because when you see what you're ingesting from the outside, from other people, from the media, from your conversations with anybody, you can see how it feels in your body. You can notice the difference of the weight of the words. And also the things that you're saying to yourself. If you find yourself being in this kind of cruddy mood out of nowhere, you're like, okay, what was I just saying to myself? What were the words I was feeding? What was that, the energy I was putting out into me? Those are the things that I would like you to be noticing, because when we shift our word use and we also become cognizant of what we're ingesting, we can be aware of what's coming at us and why we might feel a certain way. And we don't have to accept it. We don't have to accept other people's shoulds and needs to and all that stuff. We don't even have to accept our own, because again, we're just feeding ourselves with fear. And it's a really important time, and we're living in this pandemic season, to be noticing that many of us have been swallowed up by our own fears, because fear feeds fear, right? We're all talking to each other's emotions. And it's super important to be able to decipher what's yours and what's not yours. So this simple practice really just shows you, it gives you an understanding of how the weight of our words impact us, our moods and our bodies, and be aware of the way that you're speaking to yourself, the way you're speaking to other people, and the way that other people are speaking to you. Tip for the day.